Hello and welcome everyone for the 5th round of the C4 Championship, and at the side you can see all our drivers that could attend tonight. So it's once again going to be, I believe, an interesting race with the C4 category. And I'm just going to do a little recap of championship standings for those who do not know. So leading the championship is Ticked in the Alfa Romeo. He's got a 9-point gap to Hayward in the Mercedes and Brandon in the Mercedes right behind there. So Mercedes doing a really good job in the constructors. Backer of the AlphaTauri team is behind with 43 points, and it's Flying Boy Val a little bit further behind, the winner of our first race, but has only collected 10 points since, so we'll see what happens there. And his only points have came from his win in China, so we'll see how well he can fare tonight. So I think we can find who's in the cat. It's one of the it's PJ actually, one of the reserves, who's going to start a fast lap first of all. So we'll go and see him. Actually, we'll go on board for the moment as I get the stream up. See some of your comments.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, so here we go. So I recognise straight away that we have the CDR teams on board for Miguel, who's in the pits at the moment. So for our CDR team, I will go on board with Miguel at some point. He's had a decent season, just a few little incidents here and there, it's kind of buckled, but he's still there or thereabouts. Let's see what PG can do for this first flying lap. And see the happiness of Octavio in the chat. But PG coming 126. He's actually going board with Ticket. He's doing different strategy right now. He's on mediums. The two Renaults, actually, he's just invalidated. The two Renaults, Lord and Flying Boy Val. Lord putting in a fantastic 114.5. Brandon, right there. Brandon, sorry, right there as well. Let's see, always right. He's invalidated. He's allowed Doppy Man through. Should be fine. Let's see what Doppy Man pulls off. Yes, another really good lap, getting them into the 114s quite early on. Doppy Man, nice lap, but a lot of invalidations early on, including Dragos, I believe, we've got a messed up gearbox, unfortunately. Well, Miguel only now coming out of the pits. Let's see, Composite, he's on a lap right now in the Red Bull team, not actually doing too bad. Composite quite equal with his teammate Giraffe, and I've had a decent season so far. I think Composite would be happier if he had actually been able to collect some of the points that he has missed out on as well though, but yeah, I would they've had a decent season so far, I've got to say that. And, well, right now he's at the back of his set of lap, but that's still 10th at the moment. And that's a 1:16.3. Let's see, always Rick coming into the pits. Miguel's still on us. Well, let's see, Backer also coming into the pits, so it ends in the racing point. Enzo. And he's coming through the stadium section and out of the stadium section through that final corner, the shortest run to the line, and it's a 4th place at the moment. His teammates is in 6th. Golden, he's struggling, I think, this year. Got good pace, but just struggling so far this season. So, as I said earlier, for the CDR, fans in the chat, here's an onboard at the Williams of Miguel. Let's see, DRS was on the back straight, or yeah, it is the back straight. Let's see how he takes this. I actually really enjoy this corners. You can gain and lose a lot of time through there, and here comes the sweeping S's. Ticket just dives off the track to stay out of the way. Miguel, see how much curb is he willing to risk to take. It will really help you improve your time, the more curb you can take without going for a fly into the wall. And at the stadium station, nice apex there. I think a bit slow on the exit. Let's see, another apex out wide there, not the shortest run. Let's see what he gets. It's a 1:15.8, puts him in 10th place for the moment. Let's have a look at Ticket. Ticket coming through those same S's, taking a lot more curb than Miguel, so whether that's something Miguel should look out for just to get his times a little bit better. Again, nice apex in the stadium section, much better exit as well. Flying Boy Val hopefully knows he's got Ticket behind him, he probably does. He starts a flying lap as Ticket goes into provisional pole with an excellent end to the lap. Lore, who's also fighting for this pole position right now, is got traffic, but they've got out of the way fairly nicely. He's slightly down and he cuts the corner just that little bit too much. The game's not going to let him away with that. Flying Boy Val, he didn't get that distraction, let's say, of traffic, and is up by 2.5 tenths, runs wide, so that's going to cost him a little bit of time unless he'd done that on his first lap as well. And he'll be coming into this really fast one line only in the race. He's taking as much curb as possible. Not there though. There we go on the exit, takes everything he can. He's lost some time, but he's still up by a tenth. He's going to run into a problem. And he has run into a problem, but Hayward was far enough in front that was, in my opinion, Flying Boy Val choosing to back off rather than completing that lap. I'd be amazed if that's correct. That said PJ was up by 7 tenths. Actually, he's not completed the first. Let's have a look. Let's see what PJ can do. And oh, he's down by quite a bit, which means this is actually his outlap, isn't it? Let's have a look. The AlphaTauris, Rick and Backer seem to struggle in qualifying quite a bit. Invalidations being the biggest issue with them, always Rick pushing it too far, as you can see. Let's see what Backer can do. He's taking it rather tentatively into the first sequence of corners, and now he bolts down the second of the straights. Let's see, There's no delta to work off of, unfortunately, so nothing really for us. It isn't purple, that's all I can say. So here we go through that lovely sequence of corners, I believe, and now into the very difficult S's. Not taking as much curb, running a bit wide, taking a bit of curb there, and on the exit, but not as much as some others, which is likely to make it a bit slower than, but this is probably still a banker run for Backer, who doesn't want to risk not setting a time. It's still a decent lap, so let's see what he can do. How does this finish for Backer? It puts him in 10th. He's a bit behind for now, but at least he's got a lap on the board. Dragos, he's completely avoiding the curbs. Is he there? But he's alright, it's a slow lap, that's possibly why. So it's the Haas guy, DXN, that hasn't set a soft lap time. He has set a medium lap time, but he's at the back, which means it's not really going to help him. Slower. Is that him starting a flyer? If I missed this flyer, you'll find out in about a second. Yeah, it looks like it is his flyer. Should have noticed that with the overtake. And now it's DRS. Let's see what his time is. He's down by a 10th. He is down by a 10th in the first sector. Let's see exactly how he fares through the twisty bits here. Taking a lot of curb. Well played there by Lord. Let's see. He's now up, barely up, but it'll be just enough to take the provisional pole. It's purple second sector. Let's see how the laps finished exiting the stadium. Shortest run to the line. And it's a big improvement in the final sector, taking Lord onto provisional pole by 2/10. Backer. He stayed out into another lap and got up to 4th. Nice lap there from Backer. Brandon, of course, fighting ticket for the championship lead this week. Let's have a look at Bion. I think he's actually on a slow. That's a decent lap he's put in there. Composites, he's invalidated, unfortunately. Lower would just seem to his lap. Ticket is coming out, so winning out lap, same with PG. Yeah, so it's a bit of a low right now. Let's just watch the Alfa Romeo, Alfa Romeo of Ticket, the championship leader. He's on his out lap right this second. In fact, PJ, he started this fast, so we'll go to him. Just get a little bit of action. For a reserve, PJ has been actually. Sorry, I'm trying to get the right words out. He's been at, I think, every race, or every race where a reserve could have been at. Attending a lot and having a good crack at a race every time, so very good job from him. Let's see what he can do this week as he comes flying through the S's. The third DRS zone, which gives a second, a new, I should say, opportunity for overtaking. It's probably a third or fourth main overtaking place that we have here at Mexico. It's still difficult, as we've seen in some of the other tiers, some accidents happening at that corner. Yeah, it gives us another chance of overtaking, getting people close in the stadium section. so PJ didn't seem to improve there, so it's Ticked who's in the middle sector right now, taking a lot of curb. Oh, the game's let him off for that. He ran a little bit wide. Oh, that will be close if he can maintain that gap through the stadium. Can he improve on his time? He should improve. Will it be enough? Yes, it is. It's a 1:14.2. He's about a 10th on pole with his closest rivals just exiting the pits now. That's lower. Dolphy Man and Backer are still in there, but I think we kind of got. There's Dolphy Man coming out. Backer doesn't seem like he is coming out. There's PJ, that's the end of his qualifying. 6th at the moment. Hayward, 3rd place in the championship. Actually going to keep an eye on the championship standings as well throughout this. Connotations are extremely important. As the gap is beginning to widen between the drivers at this point. So yeah, it's Hayward in that 2nd place and Brandon in that 3rd. There is only 1 point between them, so we'll see what happens with that. Backer will be happy that he's got a decent qualifying under his belt. Being in 4th place, so yeah, he'll be happy that he's got himself right up there. Rubs, he is retired from the session, he's 11th, he'll be starting outside the top 10. Fresh tyre choice for him as Hayward's down on his time. Lower, yeah, he's come back out, so let's have a look. Dolphy Man is also out, so yeah, this is going to be the pole lap, or not. That's what we're going to find out. He's a 1, 2, 3 up on his time. Doesn't run too wide there on the exit and gets to that quite well as 2. So let's go through the S's, taking the curb, taking a bit less curb. Let's see, just flying through there absolutely fantastically. It's 1:18 this time up, so he's lost a tiny bit of time. This, if he can maintain it, will possibly be enough for pole. This is going to be tight. It was tight, very tight. It's the same time, but Ticket's in it first. So Ticket at the moment on pole because he set the lap time first. They are equal. Ainz throws it up into 3rd. We missed that. Dolphy Man doesn't improve. Ainz, nice lap. Backer in 5th. Brandon, he's about 2.5 tenths up. He's going to be able to throw. He's gone. No, why are you doing that? He would have been up at least 3rd, but that was wrecked with it. And then we've got one more guy out there, but he's on a slow lap. Oh no, Dracos is out there too. But I think he'll be on a slow lap as well. Yes, he is. So that is qualifying over with, I think it's the first time I've seen it, P1 and P2 is the exact same time. The only difference is that Ticket set it earlier in the session, and therefore he takes pole and Lore will be on the 2nd place of the grid with the exact same time. That is fantastic. Oh, Lore will be gutted. He took a different line through the final corner, and that actually is very likely what's cost him pole position. Didn't take the same quite quick line what I would have thought would be the quickest line. And I think that's cost him pole. I genuinely, the same time. Is even getting discussed in. Jeez, it's even getting discussed in Discord. So Ticket takes pole, Lore behind him in second at the exact same time. Enzo, he's in third, Dobbyman fourth, Backer fifth, Brandon sixth, this is his teammate Hayward seventh, PJ 8th, Byung is ninth, Dagos the top 10 is rounded out. Then it's Robs, Golden, Always Rick, Flying Boy Val, Giraffe, Composite, Miguel, and the Hash Driver DXN in the last position. So let's see, will we have at least a dry start for this race? And the answer for that, for at least the start, as I said, is yes. Looks like a lot less cloud cover than we even had for qualifying, so that is, I would say, good news for tonight. Driving in the sunny Mexico City climate. Right at this moment we wait for the drivers to set their setup. Well, no, they've already done setups. Let me reword that one. Their strategy to figure out what exactly they want to do for this race. Top 10 will all be on softs, so let's see what the rest of the grid is on. That's always interesting info. C3 was, just for anyone that doesn't know, was wet, so strategy didn't really come into it in terms of like, well, strategy did come into it when was the correct time to change your tyres, or the weather conditions, and whether it was dry enough towards the end to switch. This is going to be very different. As you can see, the top 10 starting the tyres they qualified on with the softs, and you have Orbs and Golden, they both went on mediums. Always Rick and Flying Boy Val have started on softs. Giraffe has chosen to start on the hards, Composite on softs, so very different strategies at Red Bull. That's interesting. Miguel, he's starting on the mediums, and the Scottish DXN for Haas, he is also starting on softs from the very, very back. So I really don't know the strategy, if I'm being honest. So it's interesting for me. I'm actually hoping the game will pop up some helpful clues for me. But I would suspect that the top 10 will either be two-stopping or trying to take the softs hard long enough to put on the hards. The ones starting on mediums will be looking for the one-stop medium to hard, I would suspect. Hards the other way around. And the ones starting on softs, well, I don't think you would commit to a two-stop. That would be my thought. So I'm thinking that's a soft to hard strategy, is why I think the top 10 will be a soft to hard strategy as well. But like I said, I don't really remember the strategy for Mexico, so we'll find out together what works out. It's actually pretty exciting for me. Usually I know the strategies quite well beforehand. This time I really don't. So let's hope to get a good view of the start. Here we go, good view. 5 lights. And the lights are out and away we go. As we see here, the car's rumbling towards us. Let's take this backward shot into turn 1. The Ferraris fighting each other at the back, but what we have is Ticket keeping the lead. Lower off a bit, and it's a fight for ain't a bit off. Doppyman losing some possessions. Let's see. Oh, there's been offs. It's always Rick that seems to have came off worse off the start. PJ's actually lost quite a few possessions too, as he now tries to overtake his teammate, which he manages. Giraffe, he's in a battle with the Haas of Golden, who's lost a couple of possessions as well. And it's... oh! I almost did something you're not meant to do. Back her off. There was definitely coming together in the S's, which we caught the onboard of. I'm not actually sure who it was with. Oh, and backwards is the Haas driver as well in the stadium section. Again, not sure what's happened there. Is Ticket actually... okay, right, a bit of a timing mess up, but that is not the actual positions. So we'll see what's going on there. I think it's just refixing itself right now, so we'll get some real shots later, but we've got a good queue going on. Doppyman a little wide, the Williams driver wanting to have a go, but he'll have to sit behind through the S's, as Hayward will also need to do the same. Evil Master says to stop. I would always, personally myself, want to avoid a two-stop, but yeah, it could be a two-stop, so we'll see that, how that plays out. We've got a huge queue of drivers. As Ticket starts making a gap out the front, and DRS will begin to be available at the next straight for all of these guys. Dragos did nearly lose it there, so the two Ferraris would be looking for a goal. Always Rick at the back, he had to pit of the first lap. Let's see, well, let's get too close for comfort for anyone, I hope not. Hayward's all over the place, it seems, getting very close to the Williams. This is all from Doppyman, really, is really becoming a Doppy train. DRS for the Williams driver. Has to stick behind, runs it a bit wide as well, a bit deeper on the brakes there. I think Composites just got past his teammate nearer the back. PJ, he seems to be very close to Dragos, so we'll see. PJ is lost. Positions actually, Robs has made up a position. He started doing saucer outside the top 10, so that'll be interesting, as I said before. And it's Robs and Flying Boy Val. Val gets the overtake, PJ gets the 3-second time penalty, and the Ferrari and the Renault are still side by side. Robs gets it done, it looks like, but Flying Boy Val tried to keep it in there and couldn't keep the move. It couldn't make the move stick. Robs gets the position back and is in 10th, but has lost time to his teammates, about 2 seconds just through that battle alone. And there's the dirty air for you if you ever needed to know. A lot of time lost, and that's actually allowing Hayward to get through on the DRS zone. That's what happens sometimes. let's have a look at this battle for the second place on the grid. Hines has already got a penalty as well, but he's got the overspeed on the Renault. Lure will slot in behind the Racing Point, and off we go. And Hayward is way past Offie Man, who is battling now with the Williams. He actually went very deep into the corner, and that's going to give Beyonk a chance. Or is it Dragos, because Beyonk got an awful exit. And yeah, Dragos gets the move stick. Beyonk looking to dive it back up the inside, realises not the smartest move. So where it looked like Beyonk should have been able to take advantage of Doppy Man's mistake going deep into turn 1, he actually ends up losing a place to Dragos. And once again, it's now the two Mercedes, not on the Dragos getting a penalty. A lot of penalties coming from, I believe, the S's. It's very easy to just go too much over the curb and get those penalties. Oh, and a spin, and not great reactions from Beyonk, who does hit the back and then the side of Dragos. Oh, and this is making it a 3-wide issue. Can PJ take advantage? He's getting a double slipstream. Beyonk seems to have got past Dragos, and PJ going to make the move into turn 1. Ooh, Dragos turns in, and PJ has to back out. Boy Val not close enough to take advantage. Beyonk too far in front. It's like a concertina, they all get closer to that braking zone, and then you would expect it to widen actually afterwards. This time they didn't. He's trying to close in on Ticket, who has kept it clean of penalties so far. PJ picks another penalty. Yeah, another penalty, I was right on that. So he's struggling with the track limits, which is really going to affect him in this race. It's lap 7, he's already got issues with pens. This could be the Williams driver's chance to get past Doppy Man. It could be any of these guys' chance, really. Oh, that was an interesting shot we got, and it was Beyonk just sliding it up the outside and past Doppy Man. Not the best exit for Beyonk, but he's got a decent gap. PJ seems to be losing a bit of time on the straight, maybe a bad exit. He's going to try to switch route. No, Dragos breaks that off, and Flying Boy Val just comes steaming in there. Didn't see that coming, and Val takes the place in the Renault. That's going to be a warning clearly for PJ, and probably another one. Okay, here we go. Val on both of these guys. Dragos looking for it on Doppy Man as well. Dragos switch back, overtaking the stadium section maybe. Yeah, Doppy Man goes deep. Dragos isn't able to take the position, but Flying by Val is right there. That's allowing the Williams to pull away. Oh, a bit twitchy on the exit for both McLaren and Racing Point. Doppy Man starting to really fall down the order. The Flying Boy Val somehow way behind now, as Dragos gets the overtake done before turn 1. Nicely done. He's up into 7th place. He'll want to chase after the Williams driver up front, as Flying Boy Val PJ's lost a lot of time. I'm not sure what's happened, but we'll watch as Flying Boy Val goes past and gets the job done. Oh, and Rubs again shoves that one right at the inside, and oh, comes flying through his golden as well. Doppyman dropping through the order. Golden just very opportunistic with that overtake, I must say. Gets it done cleanly though, but he did seem to hit the back of Rubs, but everything is fine there. I think Composite it's right here as well. Is this a switchback in the stadium? No, he's going to be a bit smarter on that. Miguel here too, PJ having an off, and that's lost down quite a few places. He's now down in 14th when he was battling in the points. Just remember, oh, Doppyman pits. Doppyman is in the pits. Was this a planned pit stop? Seems so, and in comes Doppyman after losing tons of positions. Lore's got past Ainz at some point in all of this. Golden up on there's a yellow flag. Golden with a 3-second penalty. Is that Hayward's lost a position? A couple of positions, yeah, I think Hayward's had an off. Because that's Dragos and Bouillon that's got through. And now he's got pressure from Flying Boy Val as well, who's going to easily get this move done. And Rubs, he's going through the middle of both of them. Rubs had that move done. Flying Boy Val done the turn in for some reason. Through goes the Haas of Golden as well. Hayward is just a puncture. He's just really slow now. He's not got wing damage. That's what I was looking for. No wing damage to be seen. Composite, he stayed out. Ticket, he came out but in traffic behind Miguel, and I was thought Composite was actually going to go for it, but he didn't. Flying Boy Val stays out on the softs as well, so he seems to be fine. Hayward's still in the pits. Maybe it was damage, but it wasn't showing on our screens. Flying Boy Val, Golden in a battle. Ticket getting stuck behind some people in battle. You won't be too happy about that, but I think everyone is dealing in the same situation here. Flying Boy Val just trying to stay within Golden. He almost hits back a Golden, but everything's fine, just a bit late on the brakes. Miguel waiting, oh, that was lucky for Ticket. Miguel lost in the back end, and everything's fine. All the soft runners are now into the pits, except from Composite actually, who's still out there. Ticket on Miguel, should be through without a problem. We're still side by side at the apex, but Miguel got a bit of a lock up, and that allowed Ticket to get through. Golden and Rubs, they'll keep this battle going. For position, Lore now to get past Composite. Lore's went on to soft, so he's committed to stop. Yep, so he'll go through. Obviously Ticket is a committed to stop, but a very different to stop. So battle for the lead right now is Golden and Rubs. Obviously that won't last, but Rubs is leading the race. Backer gets past Hayward all the way down in 15th at the moment. Not great right now for them. Giraffe, who started on hards, has got himself up to 9th with all the people that have pitted. Always Rick having a difficult day. Here we go, Ticket right on the back of Golden. Composite in the pits. So it's Ticket isn't getting past Golden at the moment. And there we go, Composite has went on the hards. He must intend to go to the end as Miguel gets past Myler. and Ticket gets past Golden with a much better exit out of the corner. And in fact, they're still side by side though, but yeah, Ticket takes the position. Brandon looking to do the same to Miguel, just get past them as quickly as possible. Yeah, don't need to deal with the slap traffic. Yeah, but it's not even lap traffic, sorry, that's very unfair and a big mistake. You don't want to deal with this traffic that isn't going to move out your way. His backer is still coming through the field. No, he's not, because he's had an off contact. I'm not sure, but he was definitely had an off. And he's now battling with Composite. I don't know if he's got damage. Ticket's running low on ERS, but so is Rubs, and Ticket should be able to get past and retake the lead as Lord does the same to Golden, retaking third. Different strategy, let's see how it plays out. I think Lord's actually gaining on Ticket through this at the moment, but he would have much rather been in more clean air to take full advantage of the position that he is in. Backer just got passed by Composite. So the AlphaTauri is not having a great one, and Backer losing sight at the moment of the championship lead. We've got another guy trying to get through the traffic. Golden, and he gets the overtake done. Yep, done into the stadium section. Lower will be looking to get by Rubs on the exit. Let's have a wee look at penalties. Ticket's got, oh, Ticket must have got a speeding penalty, so he'll really need to make up the gap. And Lower got a speeding penalty actually as well, so he's in a very good position as Lower takes second place. There's a yellow flag, and it's Dragos at the final corner. He's going to have to be very careful. He's blocking the pit lane as well, so anybody who does want to pit, I'm not sure what's happened there. Golden also had actually pitted. I wonder if, and there we go, Dragos gets away, but loses a ton of possessions. Ice is still stuck behind Rubs. He's having a right go at it, really. Ice has got a good advantage in terms of penalties on the two that he's actually racing with. But here we go. This should be him through. Racing Point driver is just about through. And he'll be looking to do the exact same thing. Maybe just a little quicker. He's the only person on the grid at the moment without penalties as Robs pits. Brandon doesn't even need to do the overtake. So actually Brandon is in a really good position. Miguel's still staying out. And yeah, we'll have a look at the Red Bull Giraffe. He took a completely different strategy from anyone else. Starting on the hards, he'll be going to a different setup later, either mediums or softs, depending how long he drags those hards for. That's Rubs dropping down the order, but he is on a one stop, so others ahead need to pit again. Again, that could be the advantage that Miguel will find himself in, or even his teammate behind, because same thing applies. Oh, actually no, his teammate has pitted already, yeah. Forget it. So yeah, the one stop may play advantage here. But we'll see. The speed of the guys in the front could make it very different to what you'd expect. they could be able. They need to try to pull that gap and make sure their two-stop can work. That's the top 4 definitely on a two-stop, and some behind as well, so they will not be in a good position with those still ahead only needing one more stop, and they're behind them still needing another, so that might not play out very well for them. But the ones that have managed to get through the traffic and are now the top 4 could be very different. The different strategy for Lore, interesting to go different from guy ahead right now, not working out too well. To be honest, the reason why he wanted to do that strategy is because he wanted to try and take the win, and yeah, that's not at the moment working out all that well for him. Brandon sticking very close to end, and at this point Brandon is the one essentially leading and winning this race. The reason why it still could definitely work out for the guys in top 4 is because they need to pit anyway. Will move on as Backer loses his full front wing, and it's a virtual safety car, so not a full safety car. Dragos will have to wait behind. Let's see, allow them to... oh, there's an overtake. Oh no, that's because Flying Boy Val is taking this chance to pit, get a cheaper pit stop, and throwing the hards, I imagine. Yeah, it's hard. I think that's a clever move, to be honest. He's going to have to pit anyway, why not do it under the virtual safety car? Just keep an eye on penalties, hope no one gets a drive through. Flying Boy Val, he does end up in traffic as, oh, it's Miguel. He tries to slow down, but it's too late. He's pushed the virtual safety car too far, and he gets a drive through, and so does PJ. PJ and Miguel both. Correct, Callie, you have never been here and never supported the Racing Point driver who sits in 3rd right now, with less penalties than the 2 guys ahead. Never, ever, ever. As Callie enters the chat. But yes, PJ and Miguel both picking up drive-throughs. Sorry for the CDR team. But Brandon, with no penalties, he's the only one on the grid with no penalties so far for anything. He's catching the back of the Racing Point. Yeah, those softs are already a lot slower. Actually, there's some yellows as the Haas is off. Miguel's through his pits and so is PJ, but the Haas was off in the stadium. Let's see. And always Rick is in the pits. This time looks like a planned stop, but earlier it looked like Random was on for the Racing Point for 3rd. Now it looks like Lore is the one having to defend from the Racing Point. It's gonna be topsy-turvy like that. As Ticket starts really building a gap as the softs back out. The softs are starting to give up, but maybe not the best move by Lore at all. Maybe it was medium you had to do. We'll see what Ticket does, as there's a bit of contact there, but the Racing Point driver does get through, and I think Brandon might actually get through as well. He's got overtake, he's got loads of ERS to play with. Yeah, here we go, DRS as well, and into the braking zone. He's got the racing line, and Lore's lost 2 positions, but the gap to behind is now 10 full seconds, with Pyong on the softs, who's also actually 2-stopping. Who's in a good position? Well, let's see how the Red Bull does, really. Looks like that the two-stop will work for what is now the top 5. But let's see what happens with the Red Bull here, who is obviously, his hearts are starting to give way, and the people on mediums behind, they are coming thick and fast. Oh gosh, just about manages to not crash and lose it himself. As Doppelman gets back through, he had a difficult one earlier and ended up losing a lot of time. Lower into the pits and onto mediums. 16 laps on mediums is doable. He'll be going to the end. It's a full safety car. I'm not sure. I'm not actually sure what's happened. And there's Dragos taking advantage. Giraffe, he's taking advantage. He's into the pits. What's he put on? He's put on new mediums. He will lose lots of positions, but the field will get bunched right back up. This is not good for the two-stoppers. Let's just have a look. Who else dove into the pits? There we go. Oh gosh, be careful. This is your chance. Get in those pits as soon as you can as well. That's what the full top. Oh gosh, here we go. This is going to get really interesting now. Doppelman might even want to do it. Everyone might want to do it actually. There's Ainz, Brandon doesn't. Brandon stays out. Ticket in. Ainz in. Beyond. Please tell me you're coming in. Yep, you're coming in. Doppelman. No need for onboards right now. Let's see, Doppelman, he's staying out. Hayward is in. Passett, he's in. Rubs and Golden, they stay out. PG, he'll stay out. Flying Boy Val, he's gonna stay out. He's not long pitted. The rest at the back haven't long pitted. Even Backer will probably stay out. Okay, here's where this will get interesting. This gap will, of course, completely exit on itself. 3 second penalties. We'll have a look at penalties. PG having a torrid time with penalties. So that safety car, where obviously it's I'm trying to make it look in any way a good thing for the one stoppers, and it's just the two stoppers, sorry, and it just isn't, is it? Tickets, they're lucky. They're really lucky that that gap was what it was. So actually this might just about work out for them somehow, and don't ask me how, but is jump ticket. And Lower has, oh wait, yes, Ticket and Lower would have served their 5 second penalties. That's what that is. And that has allowed Ainz to jump at both of them and take the provisional lead of the race. It's actually, and Lower's now behind 2 people that haven't, that didn't have to pit. Beyond is also in that same issue. PG's gonna just try and take these mediums to the end. He should have pitted. I could say the same for Brandon and Doppelman in that as well. Although they may try... Oh, that got close to the back. They may try and take theirs to the end as well. There's a couple of gaps, so the safety car will remain out. It's right at the back where we've got gaps that need to be catched up. Always Rick now in with a second chance, same with his teammate Backer. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Chat, I would say that those mediums there will be a tough ask to take to the end safely. I no doubt that they'll do it. They'll just be slow. So actually, it's still because of the gap that they had. It could still work out for Irons and Ticket. Rubs is in a really good position. Giraffe, he's probably in a better position than he would have been, although the gaps are shorter now. But yeah. Yeah, they've only stopped that once. Couple of two stoppers in here. Can see who that's working out for and who it isn't. But now the gaps are all down to nothing. It's about a second, so I suspect the safety car will be in this lap. So unfortunately we no longer have the Haas driver of DXN who lost it in the S's, so is no longer in the race, and that is why we have the safety car. We have had a virtual safety car for an off, but not a retirement. We've had a full safety car, and that is why we have this. Safety car is in this lap, and it will be Brandon and Doppy Man that will take us to the line. Ice has to be really careful, but also I am a bit perplexed of why Ticket has chosen hards, if I'm going to be very honest with the guys, but we'll find out. I think the mediums were the best option, and he definitely had that option, or should have had that option available to him, as Brandon goes off, and now whoa, what a restart from Heinz. He's gonna fly. There was yellow flags though, because something's happened with Always Rick and Flying Boy Val. I don't know if anybody else was caught up in that. That'll be what the yellow flags are for, whatever happened at the back on the restart. And Always Rick has somehow managed to put on the intermediates. That is not going to be good for him. So Flying Boy Val will take 16th from Always Rick. I have no idea what the hell has happened at the back, or why we now have someone on intermediates, and it's Giraffe's. Oh, and Dragos. So Giraffe lost the possession, and Dragos went around. Dragos gonna. He has got damage, so he's slow. Sorry about this. Let's get back to the front. As he has 25 points in the championship, and that was for his win in China. He scored nothing anywhere else, having DNFs and other issues get in his way. And he is now absolutely in the driver's seat to take the Mexican Grand Prix victory, and we'll see if he can do that this time. Racing with Brandon got a good got a decent gap now to Ticket, who yes has got past Doppy Man, who is on really old mediums, but he is losing time to Ainz, who put on mediums instead of the hards, which seems obvious decision. Dragos now into the pits. I am unsure what has happened there a few incidents at the restart on the safety car. Still no DRS available for any of the drivers. Lower needs to find a way past Robs, who and the other thing in front of them. Lower should have the advantage on tyres, and DRS now is enabled as soon as they pass the line. I don't think it will be available this lap on the. Sorry, it won't be available on the straight though. Donkey Man is in the pits, mediums, just to tell you he should have hit it under the safety car. Now maybe he didn't have any mediums left, I'm not sure. He's still on the chase of Brandon. There's more penalties, so I don't know, Brandon's still looking okay. His pace isn't dropping off too much either. He's the guy in front, behind, being Enzo, he's still being kept behind and struggling through the dirty air, even on fresh mediums. Rob's staying ahead of the gaggle behind on fresh mediums as well, and it keeps PJ in there, although he has tons of penalties, which isn't going to help him. Lower actually is being challenged. Rob's getting challenged by Lower. Smalley in the chat. Beyond cuts that corner, gets 2 second penalty. And Ainz takes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix and should be able to keep it there. Side by side is Byung and Lower keeps the position. Oh no, oh no. That was very lucky for both drivers managing to hold that, as Rubs actually gets an overtake on Golden. Rubs gets an overtake on Golden. Good that OFR is in the chat watching RLH races, so we'll see how that goes. I believe that's actually Dr. Robot, who races in C5 as well here. So, and I'm being asked if I'm okay. The cough is not COVID, I can tell you that. I can tell you that. So we've still got, actually, back to the front, it's Brandon in the pits. Again, he'll put on softs, but he's going to lose tons of positions because the safety car is only just been out. We'll go back up, there's so much action, so difficult to follow everything. And sorry if I'm missing some stuff. Oh, Byung. Oh, avoiding action, that was lucky. Who didn't manage avoiding action was Backer, and he's ending up losing a few positions. Miguel back into the point, and Lower getting past Golden. Rubs himself, he's in a podium position now. So we'll see, but Lower will want to chase after that, as it's Miguel and Composite, and it's like 4 cars there. Giraffe gets an amazing overtake there on Miguel, and he's got Backer to deal with. I wouldn't try anything through the S's, but they have tried it, and it's just not worked. No collision, thankfully, but cars all over the place to avoid it. Through the stadium section, and off we go again. Golden into the pits, so he's given up what he was trying to do. I think initially he was planning to pit anyway, which I severely doubt. The Renault Lower seems to have got the speed back. It's overtake and DRS. Will he get the Ferrari in front? Well, he's going to be too far behind at the moment, but Looks like Rubs might start to be struggling. Is that that's a Lat's always Rick in front. He's really struggling. Yeah, he's really struggling in front. I got the two Red Bulls in front of the Williams of Miguel. He's still sitting there in the points, looking to pounce at any mistakes in front. So DRS engaged. In fact, will he go for an overtake on Giraffe now? Nope. Not close enough. And I'll go back to this fight for the final podium place as the Racing Point driver just builds that gap. It's Lore going to have a go at Rubs. Overtake, he's out of overtake, so that won't happen now. In fact, oh, I thought he was going to lunge, but nope, he thinks better of that one as the Red Bulls seem to swap positions and more battling at the in the far reaches of the points as Backer gets past Brandon, but Brandon's going to go for it again. No, he's not, and that allows us to get back up for Rubs. They were side by side, I think. Interesting line there, going for a move, and it's actually allowed Buong in the Williams to try and move on Lore, going under touch, and Lore's round. He's got damage. He's got to be careful for re-entry. Oh, that's a shame for Lore. What a race he was having. I'm not sure who you could really blame for that. They were side by side in the corner. It's a bit of an interesting place to make a move, but they were side by side. Brandon goes for the move. Backer's late on the brakes. He manages to avoid any collisions, and Brandon gets past Composites, who's losing time now as well. Brandon on new softs, so that's why he's coming back through, but Lore, regardless of who's at fault, will not be happy. Composites pitted. Composite must have had damage. There's no reason for him to pit now. 5 laps to go. Beyond is looking for his first podium, but that allows me to now look at the penalties, and that says to me Beyond will not get that podium. I don't get why Always Rick isn't just getting out the way. Well, he is now by clouting the wall on the exit. He was getting lapped. That's cost Rubs some time, and it's actually allowed Beyond to catch. He needs to be careful anyway. He doesn't need the penalties biting him too hard, but they are going to bite quite hard. Everyone, of course, now having penalties. Earlier some didn't. Miguel, he's now sitting quite well in 7th and looking quicker than the Red Bull ahead. And the other Williams, as we've said, he's in 4th, but he's got penalties galore coming to bite him. A lot of guys have a lot of penalties though, so it still might work out not badly for him. Lord right at the back now, he'll be furious. And there we go, Miguel up past the Giraffe in the Red Bull. Oh, and Brandon snaked through as well. Sorry, I missed that part of that. Nicely done. And here we go. We'll watch this fight for the podium, but it does look like Rubs is going to make this one stop work very well for him. He ended qualifying a little early. Qualified 11th, put on the mediums, swapped to the hards under the safety car, and he's going to make that really work for him. Let's have a right. So can the Williams get through at least battle on track? Rubs a bit over the place, but we'll see. He doesn't make another move. He's already made his move. And yeah, Bianca gets through, takes the podium position on track at least. Oh, Rubs, be careful, you don't want to pick up many penalties. Bianca's actually got another set as well, so he's still safe there. He's got to watch out for Hayward. Hayward's still in with a shout now of the podium due to penalties. Especially since he might start closing in, but he's got to be careful. That's been overtaken by Doppy Man. Lore's coming back through the field, but he'll not make it back into the points now. Not enough time. Hayward's actually been caught by his teammate Brandon. Remember, this is for a place in the championship, as there's only 1 point between the two other Mercedes drivers, so I doubt there'll be any team play here. They're battling at the moment over second and third place as Ticket leads the championship at the moment. Ticket will extend that lead as Brandon just powers past with DRS assistance past Hayward into 5th place on those softs. So yeah, he's taking full advantage of that. Rubs is still in a battle with Biong, but let's look at Brandon's penalties, because Brandon's got 11 seconds, so he's got more. He's got more than Rubs, so that's still good for Rubs. He'll just keep battling away. Doesn't need to lose time in this, because he could still lose a position to Hayward, depending how close he can get. Doppy Man, he's looking at maybe getting another place. I think we'll just keep it on penalties for now. Yeah, Backer struggling on the pens. A lot of penalties today. Ticket being the cleanest when it comes to corner cutting pens anyway. But the gap at front for the Racing Point driver is such that that will not matter. He's taken the right strategy call going on to the mediums at the safety car. Oh well, Ticket put on hards, which was interesting. If we want to see a battle for the final points, well, I don't think I'm really going to see it. In fact, Giraffe pulling away with that, but gaps are starting to get a bit big. Brandon's closing in, but Rubs could lose the position. It won't really matter, at least at the moment. Although Brandon could probably pull out, and there, just forget what I was about to say, as that's now 14 seconds penalty for Brandon. You've still got to watch out for Hayward though. The gap is under that 3 seconds that Hayward needs to grab the podium off of Rubs, who right now, because of penalties, oh, Brandon sends it, absolutely sends it. Not the cleanest move you'll ever see. PJ gets the position off Giraffe, but that will be given right back on penalties. In fact, it might be Golden that it's given to though. Nice opportunistic move by Golden, who, if he can get that gap, will be the one that takes a point, but it doesn't look like it will be. Rubs gets overtaken by Brandon, and Biong has lost connection on the final lap. That actually happened in C3 as well to a Williams driver. It's not luck for Williams, but no ghosting means they will have to get the overtake done themselves, which gives Rubs another chance. He doesn't need to risk it, although look at the gap. Hayward's closing. Brandon sneaks one through on Biong. Hayward's going to take the podium because of that, but it doesn't matter. For Innings, he just takes the one by 8 seconds. He'll be drawn back by about 3. Rubs does get through. Ticket takes second place, and it will be Brandon 14 seconds of penalties that will take third on the grid, but he'll drop Rubbs jumps, and let's see, Brandon is going to be close to Hayward, sorry, is going to be close to Rubbs, so Rubbs misses out on his podium and gets 4th, Doppyman 5th, Miguel 6th, Brandon with all those penalties 7th, Viong will finish 8th with penalties and a disconnection, Bakker gets 9th after everything that happened that race, Giraffe gets the 10th place, Golden will take 11th, PG 12, Composite will be 14th as Lord jumps him, 13th, Dragos 15th, Flying Boy Val 16th, Always Rick, a bad day at the offense, has been lapped in 17th, and DXN in the Haas will be the only non-finisher. Well, that was an exciting race throughout. We had a lot of action. Sure, the conversations in the Discord will be very interesting, as they always are. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Evil Master earlier on was completely correct. The 2-stop ended up being quickest, although aided by safety car. Although I felt like that safety car might have actually made it more difficult for them. So, and there you go. The speed is what kept on it. And I think that's another British 1-2-3. Rubbs will be slightly disappointed, I think, missing out on the podium. And so yeah, a lot of penalties. Not a single driver without a penalty. But Ainsley Tickett had the pace tonight, and that was the simple reason why they made that work. Rubbs, yeah, excellent strategy to get him up the field. Well played. Giraffe getting a point as well. Lore will be really upset. He had the pace too, but is all the way outside the points. He's up in, he's 13th. He'll be really annoyed with what happened. Whether or not you can apportion blame, that's a message that will probably be in the steers. So thank you. We've got another 30 seconds apparently, so thank you for joining. Definitely I'm okay, and Smolly, Rubbs getting P4, just missing it in the podium, and I'm pretty sure Doc Robot will congratulate him in his own way as well, for a nice P4 for Rubbs. Great result there for the Ferrari driver. But congratulations for the second win of the season for the Racing Point driver of Heinz, Enzo of course. Yeah, good luck to him. He's making a charge for the championship. He just needs to start collecting points at races where he doesn't win. That would be very helpful. Callie can be excited as well now that the race is over, and support his driver. But yes, thank you for joining us this week. Will be I believe it's Silverstone next week, so it's a British Grand Prix, so I look forward to seeing the race there in C4, and I hope you do as well. But for now, thanks for joining us tonight. I will see you then.